Hey everybody, this is Jake, and tonight we're going to fix our broken ice dispenser, so let's go check it out. So let me show you what I've got going on here. On my refrigerator, the ice, whether it's on crushed or cubed, what happens is, let me get underneath here so you can see what's happening, and I'll get this a little bit clearer. There's the door, the flap, and so when I push this, you can see that door opens, but it doesn't close, and that happens every single time. So what happens is the air starts getting in there and it starts interacting with the moisture, and then it starts clogging up the chute underneath, up top, and then I end up with this mess where this is all backed up with ice. And so now I'm going to take care of that. I'll get that out, show you how to do that. But what we want to do is kind of do some investigating and see what's going on behind door number 1. And so let's take this off. Now to take this off, it's pretty easy. You just pull kind of from the inside here, and this will kind of pop off, and that just comes off just like that, those clips. Then you've got the control panel here. Just give it a push up and pull this out, and then this will drop down. Now behind here you've got some wires, and what we want to do with these wires off this control panel is just remove these and just give them, make sure you're holding it, don't pull it by the wire, hold it by the actual plug and just kind of wiggle it back and forth, and just you can pull that off. You get 3 of them. One's going for power, one's going to the switch for the dispenser where you push to bring out the ice, which is this one, and then this one it's going a little bit farther back, and then I believe this one is for power. So let's just take that off. Okay. Now we've got 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, and those are just Phillips screws. So let's go ahead and take those out. So now that we have our 4 screws out, this just pulls out, and you can see we've got, again, this is just the dispenser here. This pushes down. It's got a switch here, and it's got a light on the back. And then here is our looks like there's the flap. So it looks like we've got a solenoid here. And when this opens, it looks like it pulls that down, but it doesn't. It's right there. So let's go ahead. I think what we're going to do is we're going to unscrew this solenoid, and it's attached to this arm here, so we're just going to go ahead and take this out here. So it looks like what's happening is this is not, it's kind of got this plunger action on it. You can see it's sticking, it's not moving nicely. So I think what we want to do is get this all cleaned out, get all this rust off, clean this up, clean all this off on here and see what happens. So I'm just taking some fine sandpaper and going over that plunger real quick. You can also use steel wool or an SOS pad that would probably do the same thing, but the main thing is to get all the rust off, and so there's nothing that's going to bind that plunger up to the solenoid. After that, I want to clean out the actual solenoid inside itself with a little sandpaper and make sure there's nothing that's going to cause it to hang up as well. When you install the flat back onto the ice door, you want to make sure that the spring is in the proper location and you're not catching it in where the screw holds the flap to the back. Also make sure that little end of the spring goes into the slot on the side of the flap. So before I put everything together, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my control module and just check it with the buttons to make sure it moved free with me just moving this, which is good. But I'm going to go ahead and plug this back in here and here, and just plug in my switch for the ice dispenser here. So when I push this, let's see what happens here. Actually, just make sure I'm on ice. Yeah, I'm on ice. And if I push this, you can still see it's hanging up there. See, it's not going as far down, but you can see it's kind of hanging up on this. I'm going to make this a little bit smoother. I'm going to take it out and hit it with some sandpaper a little bit more, and then we'll try it again. But here's what I didn't realize when I'm doing this. There's actually a 4-second delay between the time you hit the switch and the time the actual flap closes. So that's why it's not going down all the way at first. At the same time, I think there was still some binding on that plunger, so I put a little bit of oil on it and cleaned it off a little bit better, and you'll see this next shot what happens. So it's really nice having that ice maker actually working properly now. Every day I've just had to open up the door and take the ice out of the bin, and looking down that chute, looking at that frozen up ice inside, is just another reminder, hey, why don't you go and fix this thing? So finally got on YouTube and found actually a different repair that's on this front panel, but it showed how to take that front panel off, and that's all we really need to get to. But this is one of my first home improvement videos on this channel. I've got a lot of other videos for you to check out, so I encourage you to subscribe. And this is Jake of All Trades saying we'll see you next time.